the EV revolution, Porsche just slammed the brakes. In a stunning announcement, CEO Oliver Blume revealed a new hydrogen combustion engine. Not electric, not silent, but clean, loud, and ready to change everything. It's not a concept. It's not a theory. It's real. And it runs without carbon emissions. While the rest of the industry races toward batteries, Porsche is rewriting the future with fire and fuel, minus the fossil. This isn't about killing electric cars. It's about offering something better. Faster refueling, more emotion, and zero guilt. Electric cars may not be finished, but they've just met their first real rival. The big reveal. When Porsche's CEO, Oliver Blume, took the stage to reveal their hydrogen combustion engine, it wasn't just another tech announcement. It was a shot fired across the bow of the EV industry. For years, automakers have followed a single path: batteries, motors, and silence. But Porsche? They just opened a second door. This wasn't a prototype tucked away in a lab. This was a working engine. Loud, mechanical, real. And it runs on hydrogen, not gasoline and not electricity. What makes this so important isn't just what it is, but what it challenges. Porsche isn't talking about hydrogen fuel cells that act like EVs with a different fuel. They're bringing back the combustion engine powered by clean-burning hydrogen gas. This keeps the soul of a car alive, the roar, the rev, the raw emotion, without the guilt of carbon emissions. It's a bold move in a world that's been trying to silence the sound of engines. The reveal also wasn't vague. Porsche isn't doing this to experiment. They're doing it to lead. Blume didn't just present a concept, he presented a vision: high performance, zero carbon engines that don't require the compromises of battery-powered cars. It's a car for people who love driving, not just getting from A to B. Porsche knows its audience, and this announcement hits them right in the heart. As Blume declared on stage, the combustion engine's chapter isn't closed, it's just being rewritten. And with that, the spark was lit, because when Porsche speaks, the entire auto industry listens. But this isn't just about being different. Porsche is making a comeback for combustion, not out of nostalgia, but because they believe in a better way forward. Up next, we look at why Porsche thinks combustion still matters, and why their engine is nothing like the ones we're trying to phase out. Combustion's comeback. For many people, the word combustion feels outdated. It brings to mind fossil fuels, pollution, and a dying era. But Porsche is flipping that idea on its head. They're saying combustion itself wasn't the problem. What we burned was. So instead of moving away from engines, Porsche is rethinking what goes inside them. And with hydrogen, they believe they've found the perfect match: explosive power with clean emissions. Hydrogen combustion gives Porsche a chance to preserve what made them great: sound, speed, and that signature feel under your foot. This isn't about just moving the wheels. It's about the rush, the rumble, the connection. Battery electric cars, while efficient, often feel sterile. You don't feel the engine, you don't hear it. Porsche believes that performance should be felt, not just measured in numbers on a dashboard. Their hydrogen engine is engineered to behave like a high-revving sports car. It's responsive, it breathes, and it does something no EV can. It talks back. That growl when you hit the throttle, that downshift crackle, it's all still there. Only now there's no carbon, no smoke, just the thrill of combustion, cleaned up and reimagined. For Porsche, this is about preserving what makes a car a car. As one Porsche engineer said, "Emotion is our benchmark. If it doesn't give you goosebumps, we're not building it." This hydrogen engine isn't a throwback. It's the future, with all the drama of the past, minus the pollution. But if this sounds too good to be true, hold on. Porsche isn't saying hydrogen is perfect. There's a reason most automakers went electric. In the next section, we dig into what EVs promised, and where those promises are now falling short. Why EVs might not be the end of the game after all. Electric vehicles were supposed to be the final answer: clean, quiet, and efficient. But as adoption has grown, so have the headaches. EVs are far from perfect. Charging times, range anxiety, and battery mining are serious issues. And Porsche is seizing that moment. They're not trashing EVs, but they are exposing the cracks in the narrative. Because what good is a clean car if it's inconvenient to use, expensive to maintain, and slow to refuel? One of the biggest problems? Charging infrastructure. While gas stations exist on every corner, high-speed EV chargers are still few and far between. Long road trips require careful planning, and even then, fast chargers aren't always fast or available. For people used to the freedom of fuel up and go, EVs can feel limiting. That's where hydrogen steps in. Refueling takes minutes, not hours. There's also the environmental impact of making EVs. Battery production requires lithium, cobalt, and rare earth metals. These aren't just hard to extract. They're linked to environmental damage and questionable labor practices. Porsche argues that hydrogen sidesteps that completely. No mining, no batteries, just clean burning ball and simple refueling. It's a cleaner clean. And finally, there's the driving feel. Many EVs are quick, but they don't feel alive. Porsche is betting that not everyone wants silence. Driving should make your heart race, not just your wheels, Blume told a crowd. And that's where hydrogen combustion comes in. It gives you everything EVs took away. So if EVs aren't the perfect solution, and if hydrogen has real potential, why hasn't anyone else made it work yet? Coming up next, we dive into hydrogen itself, what it is, why it matters, and why Porsche thinks it's the fuel of the future. Why hydrogen? What makes it so special? Hydrogen isn't new. It's been around forever. Literally, it's the most abundant element in the universe. But in the world of vehicles, it's always been more of a promise than a reality. Now, Porsche is betting big that hydrogen's moment has finally arrived. Why? Because hydrogen delivers what batteries can't: fast refueling, lightweight storage, and clean exhaust that's nothing but water vapor. The beauty of hydrogen is in its power-to-weight ratio. It holds more energy per kilogram than gasoline and far more than lithium batteries. That means Porsche can build fast, light, high-performance cars without stuffing the chassis with heavy batteries. Hydrogen combustion, unlike fuel cells, doesn't require huge, expensive stacks, just a modified engine and a clean fuel source. Then there's the convenience. While EVs need 30 to 60 minutes to fast charge, if you're lucky, a hydrogen car can be refueled in just 3 to 5 minutes. That's the kind of speed people are used to. It makes hydrogen feel normal in a world where EVs still feel like tech projects. For drivers who value freedom, this matters. But the real magic? Emissions. When you burn hydrogen properly, the only thing that comes out of the tailpipe is water. You still get the sound, the speed, the soul, just without the smoke, said one Porsche engineer. It's a new chapter for performance cars, one where you don't have to choose between thrill and responsibility. But not all hydrogen is created equal, and not all automakers see it the same way. So why did Porsche go with combustion, while others stuck with fuel cells? That's where the next twist in this story comes in. Fuel cell versus combustion. Most car makers that touch hydrogen focus on fuel cells. These systems convert hydrogen into electricity, powering the car with silent electric motors. Toyota's Mirai, Hyundai's Nexo, they're technically impressive, but they drive and feel just like EVs. Porsche didn't want that. They weren't chasing silence. They were chasing emotion. That's why they went combustion. Fuel cells are efficient, but they're expensive, delicate, and lack personality. They strip away the mechanical drama that defines Porsche's DNA. Combustion, on the other hand, gives the driver feedback: engine sound, gear shifts, the physical sensation of acceleration. Porsche wants you to feel the car, not just be moved by it, and hydrogen combustion makes that possible. This isn't about nostalgia. Porsche believes combustion has a future if we fuel it right, and hydrogen is that clean fuel. With modern engineering, hydrogen burns fast and hot, giving high-performance results without harmful tailpipe emissions. It's loud, it's responsive, it's alive. Something fuel cells and battery EVs just don't offer. That's what sets Porsche apart. "We're not building science projects," said Blume. "We're building dreams people can drive." And to Porsche, a dream doesn't hum quietly down the road. It roars, revs, and sends shivers down your spine. Fuel cells may win on efficiency, but Porsche isn't in the efficiency business. They're in the experience business. But this isn't just about what's under the hood. This move is part of a much bigger vision. Because Porsche isn't just building a new engine, they're building a new future. And they're bringing something with them that no one else has: motorsport DNA. Porsche's secret weapon. Porsche's decision to build a hydrogen combustion engine didn't come out of thin air. It came from decades of racing history. From Le Mans victories to Nürburgring records, Porsche has always engineered its cars to win. And now they're taking that same spirit and applying it to the future of clean performance. This isn't just about reducing emissions, it's about keeping the thrill of driving alive. Motorsport is brutal. It pushes engines, fuel systems, and aerodynamics to the limit. Porsche learned how to make machines perform under pressure, and that's exactly what hydrogen combustion demands. You need precision tuning, smart fuel injection, and components that can handle extreme conditions. And Porsche already has that playbook. But there's something deeper here: emotion. Porsche doesn't just build fast cars, they build emotional cars. Every twist of the throttle, every gear change, it's meant to make you feel something. They know their customers don't just want to move, they want to connect. And motorsport is where that emotional bond is forged. The hydrogen engine is designed to keep that fire burning. And unlike other car makers starting from scratch, Porsche is adapting existing platforms and tuning them with racing-grade knowledge. "We've spent years chasing perfection at 200 miles," said a lead engineer. "Now we're chasing it with zero emissions." That's not a compromise. It's a revolution powered by heritage. Porsche's heritage gives them the tools. But even they can't drive this revolution alone. The next challenge? Turning a cool engine into a real-world solution. And that starts with a massive obstacle: hydrogen infrastructure. Infrastructure problems or an industry opportunity? No matter how impressive Porsche's hydrogen engine is, it faces one giant problem: there aren't enough places to fill it up. Hydrogen fueling stations are rare, mostly found in isolated pockets of Europe, Japan, and California. Without a reliable infrastructure, even the best engine can't hit the road, and Porsche knows it. But instead of treating this as a dead end, they see it as an opening, a chance to lead beyond the garage. Porsche's move isn't just about building the car, it's about helping build the future that powers it. That includes lobbying governments, investing in pilot stations, and teaming up with energy companies to make hydrogen accessible. They're not just making a car, they're helping shape a whole new ecosystem. That kind of ambition is rare in today's auto industry, where most companies wait for someone else to solve the hard problems. But Porsche isn't alone. Countries like Japan and Germany are already investing in hydrogen. And if Porsche's push catches fire, it could trigger a domino effect. Other brands could follow. Governments might speed up their timelines. Infrastructure grows where demand grows. And Porsche is creating demand in the boldest way possible, by delivering a car people actually want to drive. "We're not just building vehicles," said Oliver Blume. "We're building momentum." The infrastructure challenge is real. But for Porsche, it's not a reason to wait. It's a reason to move faster. And if infrastructure is one part of the puzzle, another lies in energy itself. Because what if hydrogen doesn't just change cars, but the world? That's the story we dive into next. Global impacts. The stakes behind Porsche's hydrogen push go far beyond engines and gearboxes. This is about energy. Who makes it, who controls it, and who needs it? Right now, much of the world relies on imported oil or electricity generated from unsustainable sources. Hydrogen flips that script. It can be produced locally from water, natural gas, or even renewable energy like solar and wind. That means nations could fuel themselves and reduce dependence on volatile foreign oil markets. This gives Porsche's hydrogen move a geopolitical edge. It's not just about clean driving, it's about energy independence. Countries like Japan and Germany have already seen the future and started building toward it. If hydrogen becomes mainstream, they'll be ahead of the curve. And companies like Porsche, they won't just be making cars, they'll be shaping energy policy. There's also a global economic angle. hydrogen jobs, hydrogen transport, hydrogen storage tech. This isn't just a car revolution, it's an industrial one. Porsche's engine could be the spark that lights the fire across multiple industries, from shipping to aviation, bomb to home energy storage. It's bigger than cars, much bigger. Hydrogen is more than fuel, one Porsche strategist explained. It's freedom. And in a world where energy has always been political, the idea of clean, locally produced power is more than just attractive. It's revolutionary. But let's be honest, nothing this big happens without pushback. Hydrogen has its critics, and Porsche isn't immune to their doubts. So next we face the tough questions head-on and talk about the real hurdles still ahead. The real hurdles. As exciting as hydrogen sounds, it's not a magic solution. There are still serious challenges to overcome. Producing green hydrogen made with renewable energy is expensive. Most of today's hydrogen still comes from natural gas, which isn't exactly carbon-free. For Porsche to succeed long-term, the fuel has to be as clean as the engine burning it. That means the entire supply chain needs a makeover. Then there's the issue of safety. Hydrogen is highly flammable, and although modern tanks are incredibly secure, public perception still sees it as risky. Getting people to trust hydrogen the way they trust gasoline will take time, education, and consistent safety records. Porsche is betting that its reputation for engineering excellence can help bridge that gap. But it's a bet, not a guarantee. And let's talk cost. Right now, hydrogen tech isn't cheap. The cars, the refueling stations, the production, it's all more expensive than what we're used to. But Porsche believes that's only temporary. Just like early smartphones and flat-screen TVs, prices drop with time, scale, and innovation. They're thinking long game, not quick win. As one executive put it, every revolution starts out looking impossible until it doesn't. Porsche isn't denying the hurdles. They're facing them head on because they believe the payoff isn't just worth it, it's necessary. If we want clean energy and thrilling cars, someone has to go first. And Porsche just volunteered. So far, we've seen Porsche challenge EVs, reimagine combustion, and confront the critics. But their smartest move yet might not be choosing hydrogen. It's how they plan to use both technologies side by side. That's the next twist in this evolving story. Competing tech. While Porsche charges forward with hydrogen combustion, the rest of the automotive world isn't standing still. Tesla, Ford, GM, and dozens of others are still pouring billions into electric vehicle development. Battery tech is advancing. Charging networks are growing. EVs are becoming faster, cheaper, and more accessible. So can Porsche really compete against the momentum of a global EV wave? Tesla, for instance, isn't just selling cars. It's selling a system. Charging stations, home power walls, software updates. It's a closed ecosystem. And it works. EV buyers love the simplicity. No gas, no gears, no noise device. For many, that's a feature, not a flaw. The question is whether hydrogen combustion, with all its emotion and complexity, can even fit into that new landscape. What Porsche is offering isn't mass appeal, it's a parallel path. They're not trying to replace EVs. They're carving out a second lane for performance, driving emotion, and choice. Porsche's approach respects the growth of EVs, but challenges the idea that all vehicles should follow the same blueprint. They're offering an alternative for those who still want engagement behind the wheel. As Blume said, we're not chasing trends, we're building our own lane. Porsche knows they're not going to outsell Tesla, but that's not the goal. They're betting on a diverse future where EVs dominate one half of the road and hydrogen combustion holds the other. Porsche's genius isn't just picking hydrogen. It's not picking a side at all. In fact, their next move might be the smartest yet, combining both worlds under one brand. Parallel future, hydrogen plus electric, not either or. Here's where Porsche's strategy gets clever. They're not turning their back on EVs. In fact, their Taycan electric sedan is one of the best in its class. What they're doing is expanding the definition of clean performance. They're saying, why not both? A hydrogen-powered sports car for the weekend, an electric city car for the commute. One brand, two technologies, zero emissions. This dual-path approach gives Porsche flexibility in an unpredictable market. Battery tech might advance faster or stall. Hydrogen infrastructure might grow or lag. Either way, Porsche is ready. Instead of putting all their chips on one solution, they're building a portfolio. That's not just smart, it's resilient. It also gives customers a choice. Not everyone wants the same experience. Some drivers want quiet, seamless electric cruising. Others want to hear the engine, feel the vibration, and control every shift. Porsche is creating a world where both can exist without compromise. It's not about forcing people to go electric. It's about giving them clean performance their way. This is not a battle, said a Porsche strategist. It's a balance. And in a world that's often obsessed with single solutions, Porsche is standing out by offering more than one. That's how they plan to survive and thrive in the next automotive era. But even with all this planning, strategy, and passion, none of it matters if the car doesn't deliver. So what's really at stake here? What does this engine mean beyond tech specs? That's where legacy meets the future. Engineering for emotion. You can build the cleanest engine in the world. You can invent the smartest technology, but none of it means anything if the car doesn't make you feel something. That's Porsche's core belief. And it might be the reason this hydrogen engine will succeed where others have failed, because this isn't just about emissions or specs, it's about emotion. Porsche drivers don't just buy horsepower, they buy sound, response, control. That feeling when the rear wheels grip on a sharp corner, that instant connection between man, machine, and road. It's something battery EVs struggle to recreate. The silence, the smoothness. It's efficient but disconnected. Porsche wants to close that emotional gap with hydrogen combustion. This engine isn't just about what's under the hood, it's about preserving the soul of the sports car. And Porsche is the only company with the heritage to pull it off. They're not reinventing themselves, they're reinforcing their roots. From the 911 to the Cayman, their lineup has always been about engagement. Now they're carrying that legacy into the zero emissions era. People don't dream about kilowatt hours, one Porsche designer said. They dream about how a car makes them feel. That dream doesn't have to die with the combustion engine. Porsche is proving it can evolve without losing what made it matter in the first place. But even dreams need fuel. And to build this future, Porsche can't go it alone. They'll need allies, infrastructure, and time. What they've started isn't just a product, it's a movement. And in the final point, we'll show how this movement could shape the entire industry. The bigger picture, this engine isn't just about Porsche. It's a spark that could ignite change across the industry. Because if Porsche, a performance-first, combustion-loving icon, can make hydrogen combustion work, who else might follow? This isn't just about one company making headlines. It's about shifting the mindset of an entire generation of automakers, regulators, and drivers. Other companies are watching, some with curiosity, some with doubt, but none of them can ignore what's happening. If Porsche succeeds, the definition of a clean car might expand. The future won't be limited to plug-in EVs and silent drives. It could include roaring engines, track days, and the kind of thrill that made people fall in love with driving in the first place. The road ahead won't be easy. Porsche is taking risks. They're going against the grain. But that's what they've always done. From building the world's most famous sports car to dominating motorsport, Porsche has always thrived in the space between tradition and innovation. We're not here to follow trends, Oliver Blume said. We're here to build the future on our terms. And with this engine, that future just got a lot louder, cleaner, and more exciting. So what does all of this really mean? Porsche isn't just unveiling a new engine, they're challenging the story we've all been told. For years, we've been told electric was the only way forward, that silence, simplicity, and software would replace power, passion, and performance. But now with hydrogen combustion, Porsche is offering a second path, one that keeps the thrill alive without sacrificing the planet. This isn't about going backwards. It's about taking the best of what we love, sound, speed, soul, and carrying it forward with zero emissions. It's about showing that sustainability doesn't have to be silent, And that innovation doesn't always mean giving something up. Hydrogen isn't perfect. The road ahead will be tough. Infrastructure, gestios, perception, it's all a challenge. But Porsche has made a habit of doing what others say can't be done. They've done it on the track. Now they're doing it with clean energy. This engine isn't just an answer, it's a question to the entire industry. What if the future of driving still had a pulse? If this breakdown opened your eyes, hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more stories they don't want you to hear. Because this is just the beginning. The revolution won't be silent. Porsche just proved it.